Hi everyone, I made a mistake. A few months ago at school, I noticed that I started to develop a pain in my upper left back. It seems like a muscular issue. I began to consciously think about relaxing myself when I'm playing my instruments so that I don't perpetuate the problem. However, what I didn't do is start stretching. Yesterday, I had like the worst pain when I turned my neck. I've noticed that it's transitioned from not only my back, but all the way up to my neck as well, which I've done a little research about and is just a huge connected muscle right here. So, back to my mistake. This entire time, I am embarrassed to say I never really warmed up my body before touching the violin, which is an essential part of maintaining your health as a musician. So even if you don't really feel any pain before you play, I want to challenge you guys to at least get your blood flowing a little bit in your body before you start to play your instrument every day, just so that you can prevent anything that could ever happen. Just as a disclaimer before we start, anyone can do this. You don't have to be a gymnast, you don't have to be a superstar athlete. I am not flexible at all. This is not doctor prescribed, and I'm not guaranteeing any kind of cure to any problems you might be facing right now. However, I think it's a really healthy routine to add to your practice before you start. So let's get into it. So the first thing we're gonna do is bring awareness to our body through our breaths. We're gonna do the 6, 7, 8 counting method, and that is breathing in for 6 seconds, holding it in for 7 seconds, and then releasing for 8 seconds. We're gonna do that a few times. Ready, and.
As you're doing this, pay attention to what you're feeling right now. Relax if you can, and allow all the tension and unease in your body go, and just pay attention to how you're taking in the breath and how you're letting it out. We're gonna do it one more time. Feel yourself very gradually filling up with air. Hold it in. Then allow yourself to depressurize and pay attention to the speed at which the breath leaves your body.
Great. Now just relax your body and wiggle your arms back and forth. Sway and allow all your muscles to loosen up. Really just feel everything. How's your neck feeling? How's your back feeling? How are your legs feeling? Make sure to loosen up your knees and just allow your body to sway back and forth just for a few seconds and really get that feeling of relaxation within the body. You can just shake everything out. Great, so the next thing we're gonna do is focus on our hands and specifically our fingers for some dexterity, some strengthening, and some stretching exercises. The first thing we're gonna do is take our hands in front of us, stretch our fingers back, including the thumb a little bit. Don't go too far because all you wanna do is just get the blood flowing. You can use individual fingers. You can also go the other way now. Again, just be careful of your joints. Awesome, shake that out, and then bring your left hand forward with the same thing. Shake out your hands now. Next thing we're gonna do is take our hands in front of us and straighten and bend our knuckles like this. Just get the feeling. You can do one finger at a time. So we're actually keeping our wrists straight the entire time. Next thing we're gonna do, if you have a flat surface near you, that's awesome, go ahead and use that. I don't, so I'm gonna use my arm, which is just as fine. We're just gonna do some finger dexterity and tapping exercises. This is especially useful for those of us musicians who don't have the strongest fingers, and you know, especially for string players, you know, we need to put our fingers down on these specific strings. For wind players, you need to on these specific holes in your instrument, and then for brass players on this specific buttons. So we're just gonna, and you can also check out which fingers are weaker than the rest. Make sure all the time that none of your muscles are stiff and you're not really tense anywhere. Just maintain that ease in your body and that relaxation. So we're gonna go with our left hand now. When you're tapping your fingers down, make sure you're not just like doing it very softly. You kind of want to get that hammer finger type in your hand. You really want to feel it on your arm or on the surface. Next thing we're gonna do is take a sock, but what you're gonna do is just squeeze that. This works really well with stress balls. So in this case, I mean, I have a sock and that just works with me, but really any like squishable material, just wanna strengthen those fingers and press into that. And feel those muscles along your arm work every single time you squeeze the sock. Okay, another 20 on the left side. 3. Great, socks aside, we don't need that anymore. The last thing we're gonna do is a wrist twist, which is just taking our wrists and getting that rotation in. You don't want to do this one too much because you don't want the joints to start grinding on each other, but just get that in a little bit, a few times back and forth. Great. So that's it for our hands. We're gonna move on over to our arms now. At the arms level, the first thing we're gonna do is stretch to either side. So take one hand on top of your head, bend it over a little bit, and then your other hand below you, and then stretch that. You're gonna feel a stretch right here in your arm. And just hold that for a little while and bring it back up. Great. Now I'm gonna do the other side. And if you can't go very far, like me, that's okay. Really get that stretch so you can feel it in both arms. You're also gonna feel it in your obliques a little bit. Okay, next we're gonna take our arms and we're gonna take them into circles going forward for just a few seconds. And then we're gonna go backwards. 4. Keep your arms straight. Great. Now release your hands, your arms. You might feel a little bit of your muscles getting sore in your shoulders. A little bit in your arms as well, and that is great. Good exercise. Okay, now just stretch out your arms, shake them out, you know, hug yourself, do whatever you want to do to relax those muscles. Next thing we're gonna do is take our arms across our chest, put our elbows around the front of it, and then stretch that. So you're really gonna feel a stretch right here next to your biceps. I'm not sure what the muscle is called. Great. Now the other side. make sure you're not too low, otherwise you're not gonna feel that stretch. So make sure it's pretty parallel to the floor. Great. Now we're gonna stretch our triceps behind our back. So what we're doing is taking our arm and holding on to the elbow and then bringing it back. Great, stretch that out, and the other side, and go. You're really gonna feel this one in your triceps. Cool. Okay, the last thing we're gonna do is roll our shoulders forward and backward. Let's start with the forward. Really try to isolate just these muscles and feel that stretch. It's gonna actually be in your neck, a little bit in your back, kind of like you're giving yourself a massage. And then we're gonna go backwards. Again, really feel that isolation in your shoulders and feel it making that full circle. It's gonna feel really good afterwards. You've finished. All right, now we're gonna target our core and our chest muscles. So first of all, bring your hands up and then start twisting back and forth. It's not really about how fast you twist, but rather how far can you go. Quality over quantity, because if you go really fast, then you're not really gonna get the full extent of the stretch within your core. And keep breathing the whole time. Just don't forget to focus in on your breath when you're doing this, and just try to clear your mind of things that don't really belong. This exercise is gonna make your practice a whole lot more focused and therefore more efficient, and it's gonna make you more prepared for all of those scary things coming up in the future. As you're taking your deep breaths and thinking about how you can't wait for this video to be over, the last thing you're gonna do is interlock your hands behind your back and stretch backwards. Not too far, because you really want to get your shoulder blades to mingle with each other, but you don't want to like crack your vertebrae. So, but feel that. Feel your chest opening in the process, because that's really the goal of this, is to like get that open air, like allow your lungs to fill up with air and really be able to breathe it out. And then while you're doing your practice, also, don't forget to breathe then, because obviously, you know, oxygen is important to us as humans, but it's important to being able to express yourself musically as well. You know, if you don't take breaths, your body might be a little more tense and you're not going to be able to play this sound as beautifully as you hoped to. So just remember to breathe, remember to relax, and then bring that into your playing a little bit. Now, if you don't want to do this every day, that's completely fine. I am going to try and incorporate this into my daily routine, because I think it's a really important way to get prepared for everything that you're about to do for those long hours or minutes that you're about to put in. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I really enjoyed getting to show you guys my routine. So if you like what you see, please feel free to subscribe to my channel and leave me some comments down below for what you liked about this exercise, what you didn't like about this exercise, and feel free to send me a message on Instagram, or also leave a comment down below for what other videos you want to see me making, either on my Instagram or on my YouTube channel, or on both. I'm also gonna link a written downloadable PDF kind of entailing what we did today, and hopefully that can be of use to you. That's going to be found in the description below, so make sure you check that out. With all this said, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and happy practicing.